Thank you so much, Kristen. It is 6:02, and we do have breaking news coming into the Cap KVU newsroom right now, as President Trump has just ordered all American flags in the United States and around the world to be flown at half-staff in honor of the Florida school mass shooting victims. This, as at least 17 people are dead and 5 others still fighting for their lives, as police say this is the suspect. His photo being released this morning. It's 19-year-old Nicholas Cruz. He was a former student at that high school where the shooting took place, and he had been expelled from that school. He's now charged with 17 counts of premeditated murder. Police saying he was armed with an AR-15 rifle, which he legally purchased a year ago. And all of this as the students there heard shots flying, the students and teachers barricading themselves into the classroom, huddling under desks until police led them from the building with their hands over their head. Now, among the victims, a football coach, Aaron Feast, who used his body to shelter some other students, saving their lives from the gunman. Students say they were just trained last month on what to do in an active shooter situation, never thinking back then that they would have to put that training into use.
Oh my God!
And that was the scene and the sounds inside that schoolroom, or classroom rather, as students were preparing to leave for the day when that shooter entered that school. That shooter, again, now identified as Nicholas Cruz, using that single AR-15 with countless magazines, wearing a gas mask, armed with smoke grenades, and opening fire. The SWAT team moved in, searching for the shooter, clearing that school of more than 3,000. The sheriff's office confirming 15 killed on site, 2 later dying at the hospital.
This is a catastrophic, an unbelievably catastrophic day in Broward County history. It's devastating. I'm sick to my stomach.
After the hail of gunfire, the 19-year-old former student walking out of that school.
White male, burgundy shirt, wearing a black hat and either long black pants or shorts. He mixed in with a group of students that were running westbound.
And you see it here, police arresting him and doing so luckily without incident. Broward School Superintendent saying they are heartbroken over this unspeakable tragedy, and they will not be releasing the names of any of the victims, of course, until all of the family members and parents are notified. Now, the school in Parkland is closed through the end of the week, and grief counselors will also be on hand starting tomorrow. And in the meantime, investigators combing through the suspect's social media accounts and his internet history, trying to learn more about him and his motive. Well, the sheriff saying that they've already found some things that are, quote, very disturbing. Arrested off campus, he's seen right here in handcuffs, wearing combat-style boots. And now this school shooting Wednesday marks at least the 18th so far this year, and it is also symptomatic of a nation where mass shootings in which 4 or more people are shot in an incident have become commonplace. The nation averaging more than 300 mass shootings in the last 3 years. So the FBI, again, continuing to conduct those intensive background checks, looking into the shooter's social media footprint, so if there was any ties to any extremist groups. So far, no evidence pointing towards terrorism, but we are reminded by them that they are still very early on in their investigation.